Hey everybody, welcome to episode 89 of the Toys for Games podcast. We are recording this on Thursday, September 22nd, 2016. I am one of your hosts, Josh Brown. I am joined by the man who's getting dangerously close to climbing into a mascot costume, Jason Greer.
Good evening, Josh. How are we doing?
Fantastic. How do you feel about mascots?
I'm okay with
general.
them. I'm okay. They don't typically bother me. The ones that are like a real weird, like ones that haven't been updated in a while.
Sure.
Always weird. And like it's weird to me, like because I think it's harder now to launch a new mascot than it's ever been before.
100%.
You know, like Philly Fanatic, one of the most historic mascots of all time. You know, I don't think that's even necessarily even a Philly bias thing to say. But
No,
like
not
if they launched that now, people are like, what the frick is that thing? You know?
Yeah.
So. But I think did we ever talk about Behind the Mask on Hulu? I think we talked about it a long time ago.
Possibly, yeah.
Fantastic show on Hulu. 2 seasons of it. Go watch it. It's about mascots things. Side story on that. Did I ever tell you the mascot story of my ex-girlfriend Lauren about what I did?
Who hated mascots and you decided to signal the mascot over?
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Don't remember what episode that was in, but
no, definitely not the first time we've talked about mascots on this show.
No, not at all.
Baseball has some weird mascots.
Baseball does have some weird mascots.
Mariners have a moose.
Yep.
There aren't moose in the state of Washington.
Like the Sixers before they have their weird Franklin the dog now. Do you remember when they had that fan vote for a new mascot?
Sorry, I don't pay much attention to breaking 76ers news.
Well, listen, man. It went like viral because of how stupid it was. They were trying to launch a new mascot, and so they gave fans three options. One was Ben Franklin, just Ben Franklin, which I think humanoid mascots are weird, creepy and weird.
Yeah.
Franklin the dog, which they did end up keeping it, but it was a different. It was a blue, like it wasn't like it was a bloodhound in that one, which like Philly is a little bit more of like a blue collar cop kind of city, so I could see that, you know, in there.
Sure.
But then the weird one was Phil E. Moose, like same thing, like a moose, and I'm like, why? And I don't know if you ever saw the rabbit they had before that. Creepiest thing in the world.
I'm gonna have to pull up a picture here.
It was its name is Hip Hop.
Okay.
Hip Hop the rabbit.
I like the name.
Straight out like the early 90s. And it is creepy as all get out.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. Weird.
Why?
No idea. I'm glad they got rid of him.
Who
Franklin
thought
the dog.
that was a good idea?
I don't know. I'm okay with Franklin. He's like this blue, friendly little dog. Him and the Fanatic get along pretty well.
He has sunglasses and everything.
Yeah, dude. It screams 90s.
It's like a roided up rabbit.
Yeah. And again, it makes no sense.
That's like Space Jam, like after Bugs realizes that like he's lost his touch, so he needs to like roid up. Yeah. Goodness gracious. Mascots are frightening. Just in general. I mean, there's some good ones out there, but man, college mascots, the gamut is pretty wide, you know. Plenty of good college mascots out there. The ones that like kind of concern me are like the actual live animals that they use as mascots.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like we could do better as a society than parading around animals, like real life animals as mascots.
They never look happy.
No. Like
and
the Georgia Bulldog.
They're trained to be like, you know, well behaved kind of thing. But
Right.
It's still like it's weird.
Yeah, like the Georgia Bulldog, like they
Showing his little
he
dog
dies like
out.
every 8 years, but they keep naming the new ones the same name, like pretending it's the same one this whole time.
Right.
You're not fooling anybody. Just
Not fooling anybody.
Stop it. The Trojan for USC who like runs out and plants a sword in the grass, like come on, we could do better. We could do better. This is the Toys for Games cast. This is executively produced by George Torres, our good friend George Torres, who's busy hunting Tsum Tsums at the moment. Apparently, I couldn't really tell from his text messages I guess he used to get them at Disneyland, and now he's not getting them at Disneyland anymore, or he always expected them to be at Disneyland whenever he showed up to buy them.
Just
And
thought it'd be like a plentiful amount.
right.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I mean, even when you and I were there, like the selection of Tsum Tsums was not very well kept.
No,
Like they just didn't have a wide variety of choices. Just flat out.
real, it's real random.
Yeah.
Thing there.
So George, I don't feel like you've been listening to us ever when we talk about Tsum Tsums. I mean,
Georgie,
I know the craze is dying down a little bit. At least the plushie side, the vinyls seem to be picking up steam. But George, come on now, you're better than that.
come on now.
Come on. Show sponsor is, of course, Devin Lachinsky. You can find his good YouTube channel over at youtube.com/user/DLASCH and then the number 2. He is a sponsor of this show every week. We would greatly appreciate it if you go over to his YouTube channel that he's trying to get up and off the ground and show him some love, show him some support from this fantastic community that we have here. We would appreciate it tenfold.
Tenfold.
Before we get into the show, Jason, we have a little bit of housekeeping to do.
Uh-oh.
One is more congratulatory.
Mm.
First, I'd like to say congratulations to longtime member of this fine community, Gabe Perez, for finding a wonderful young lady that took his hand in marriage a couple weeks back.
Indeed.
His new wife, Crystal. They've been together for as long as we've known Gabe Perez. Fantastic members of this community. They did get married. I meant to mention it a couple weeks ago, but I had to do the show alone. And then last week I was so excited to talk to you, Jason, I completely forgot. So congratulations to them, and we wish them all the best in their married life and everything that comes with that, because it ain't easy. From what I hear, I don't know. Never been married.
Yeah, it's awesome though. We're excited for them.
Yes, absolutely.
Came up quick. I knew it was coming.
Yeah,
because I know he's talked to us about it before, and then all of a sudden, like, tweeted on them, like, "Oh shoot, it's here."
Well, here's the thing: we've done 89 of these episodes, Jason. Like, there's things that we talked about when we first started this podcast that seemed so far off that have like come and gone and just like completely passed us by. Like, I don't even know where the last year and a half plus has gone, to be honest.
Yeah, it's true.
So it's just how
I don't know either.
We didn't even know about Lego Dimensions when we started this podcast.
It's true.
Let's put it that way. So
Disney Infinity was still around when we started.
Wow, you just collectively just made everybody grab Kleenex.
Well, listen, I'm a griever in humor, so
maybe somebody should set up a something to petition, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe
What?
Try to save Disney Infinity or buy a Disney castle. One of the two. Also,
I'm upset I didn't sign the petition now because I wanted to get that email. Like, Pirate sent it to me, a couple other people like sent me the whole thing. Oh god, so funny.
Look, there's reasons why we tell you people certain things. One of those things we try to drive home is, hey, if you want to sign petitions and think you're going to change stuff, go for it. We're not going to tell you not to, but we're also going to tell you that you're probably wasting your time. Especially petitions made on the internet to save something like a video game when, I don't know, the people that were actually affected by the game closing, like the employees of the studio, actually in real life lost their jobs and nobody was going to come swoop them in and like give them their jobs back because it was done and over with. And they were finding new jobs. Like, silly petitions need to be kind of made fun of, and we saw the end result of what silly petitions actually turn out to be. So sorry.
Yeah. There was one the other day that someone asked me to sign. I forget what it was. Some weird one, but anyways, back on topic.
Really? That's not like us. We don't go back on topic. We just started a new one. Also would like to give a a shout out and get well wishes to our good friend Ken, the community manager for Toys for Games, who has been instrumental in keeping the Facebook group alive. He went in to get checked out because he thought he had kidney stones, and turns out it wasn't kidney stones. Did you see this post on Facebook, Jason?
I did.
Okay, good. I didn't know if I was like breaking news to you and you were about to be devastated or whatnot. He has some sort of mucus on his appendix, I believe is what it was. Doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound like that's something that's a normal thing. He did say that there's less than 1% chance that it's something serious, so that's good.
Good.
He's getting it taken care of Monday. He has medication until then to keep the pain at bay. Then he's going to be out of work for a week while he recovers. So we wish Ken all the best in his recovery. He did mention in his Facebook post, and I yelled at him via text about this because I told Ken, how dare he make me go onto Facebook more than I want to just to get updates on his health? Like, send me a text, Ken. Like, don't make me go to Facebook to see how you're doing, you know? Sure. Just common courtesy, you know? But he did request that instead of prayers, he wants everybody to vote for Gary Johnson come November. And to also consider donating to his GoFundMe if it's needed. So, in the event of his passing because of this mucus on his appendix. So,
to Ken's GoFundMe or Gary Johnson's GoFundMe?
No, Ken's GoFundMe.
It's like Gary Johnson has to GoFundMe? Is this whole campaign like
his GoFundMe is please get me in the debates.
Also, thing on that, I've said it before. I don't fully. I mean, I'll be blunt. I don't fully agree with all of Gary Johnson's policies, but that's 100% who I'm voting for this fall.
Yeah.
But I will say, and I'm not a big fan of Hillary Clinton, but the Funny or Die today between two ferns. Did you watch it?
I saw it. I have not watched it yet.
Oh my god. So funny. So funny. It might be the best one he's ever done. Are you Zach Galifianakis? Like, did you watch it?
I appreciate his humor. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This one might be the best he's ever done. Like, he first starts off, he like shows up in like a mask to try to scare Hillary Clinton, and like Secret Service like tackles him real bad. And like she said, like it's probably not the best thing to do. So he's sitting there talking, and let me see if I can find some of the quotes, just because it's so funny.
I saw her tweet about it and say like this is one of my worst decisions I've ever made or something. Was going on the show.
Yeah. But they hold on. They I'm trying to pull it up real quick, but this is going to go very quick. Here we go. Yeah, so he's like talking to her, and he goes, they're talking about like this is like, how's it feel like to be the first? What could be the first girl president? Like, not like female, or like the first girl president. She's like, blah blah, and he's like, and if you think about it, to some people, this would be the first white president for the new generation.
Oh my goodness.
And then like, he goes, she just gives him this look, and then like he goes on, and he goes to pause. He's like, hold on, we need to pause, take a commercial break. And she's like, okay. And he plays a Donald Trump ad. It comes back, and she's like, why would you do that? But the best one, he's like talking, he's like asking her like, well, what happens? Is there lines of session if she becomes pregnant, and like all these awful things to ask. No. But then the best one is like, well, how's Obama like his coffee? Like him? And I was like, oh god. And he goes, like, weak? And I was like, and it's so funny. She continues like, but then the best one is like at the end, he's like, well, this is a real great time. Like, I'm glad we talked. He's like, what's the best way to keep in contact with you? Email? God, it's so good. Oh, and when they start the beginning, like when they have the name, and then they have like the subtitle like under people's names, it was Hillary Clinton, and instead of like running for president, it was had pneumonia.
Wow.
Oh god, it was so funny.
I'm gonna have to watch it tonight.
Yeah, like it's one of those things. Like obviously, like anything, it's supposed to be obviously free advertising. I'm sure they maybe paid for or whatever, but
Yep.
it's supposed to be a advertisement for her. But even if you don't like her or like her policy, not gonna vote for her, I think you can still have a solid good old laugh out of it.
Sure.
Good for her for going with it. Because like again, although it's supposed to like boost her, like there's some rough things on it. It was pretty dang funny.
Yeah. Yeah. It's politics are funny right now.
I wish Johnson was on the debate, man. If he was on stage, crap would go down.
And also, like you said, like you don't like fully agree with like all of his policies. Like, has there ever been a politician where you agree 100% with all of their policies? No.
No. But there was some stuff that like, obviously like each election you have like you rank different things higher.
Yeah, right.
And there's some stuff that like I always typically keep higher and stuff that I don't agree with his view and stuff. But again, it's one of those, at the end of the day, you can't always have somebody you're going to agree 100% with. So give and take. And
you and I've discussed this before. It's not the lesser of like the evils argument, but like you personally have to have who you're voting for. You have to have, what you hold highest as far as importance of what their policies are, and decide based on those. So it's not like a lesser of two evils type of situation or three evils or whatever the case is, but it's like, what are the issues that are important to you and you think are most important, and do you agree with them, and can you overlook the ones that you don't agree with in order to possibly make the other ones happen?
Right. But end of the day, make sure you go out and vote. Deadlines are coming up soon, so to register if you're not registered already.
Yeah.
So be sure to get those in.
Yeah. I saw a comedian today on Twitter because on Pottermore, I guess something new on the website about like picking like which magical animal is yours or something. Yep. I don't know what was going on. I'm not that far into Harry Potter yet, so I looked at that. I'm like, I don't know. I'll wait. 3 years. I'll understand. But the comedian was like directly tweeting at J.K. Rowling and said, "Hey, after people go to Pottermore to find out what their magical pet is going to be, can you direct them to a website to get them to register to vote also?" Like, like that's such a great idea. Like that would be perfect because regardless of who you vote for, it's important to vote.
100%.
Like we're not going to sit here and tell you who you should be voting for, who we want you to vote for. You and I both, I think, collectively can say that we just want people to vote. If you're 100%. Of the age of voting, it is important to vote.
Yep.
It is not a requirement to be a citizen of the United States, but it is a right that you are granted, and you should take responsibility to do the good thing and place a vote.
And I'm bummed. This is going to be my first election. I've worked the last 5 primary and general elections, and I can't work this year, so bummed about that. But
good news is the election will still go on.
Yep. Gonna wear my tradition still continues. My dad gets me a different America themed tie every single year, so hopefully he still does that so I can wear that to work.
I like it. I have a great fondness for ties, and I have probably 20 to 30 ties in my collection. Here's the thing. I don't have a job that requires me to wear a tie.
That's a bummer.
I wish on a regular basis that I had a job to where I could wear a tie. That sounds stupid. Most people, like, the thought of having to wear a tie on a daily basis to work and then take it off when they get home, like, is just exhausting. And I'm like, I have all these awesome ties, and I never have a chance to wear them.
It's true. One time I had a sweet tie. I forget which tie it was. But I really wanted to wear it, and same thing. I never had a thing, so I just wore it to go grocery shopping.
Sure. I have a couple cool Christmas ties. I have a patriotic tie. I have some really great colors. I just never a chance.
Got a sweet portal tie when we were at PAX West.
You did, yeah. See, I just need to start making opportunities to wear ties. That's my problem.
Right. Go to the movies, wear a tie.
Why not? Who cares?
Who cares?
Who cares? I'll just wear it with a t-shirt. I don't even care.
Bet when we saw James Bond's Skyfall IMAX, you got a free large soda or movie theater if you dressed up in a suit or like a tuxedo t-shirt.
Is that why that picture exists?
Yes.
Okay. I've meant to ask you about that so many times.
Yes. Yep. So that's where we went. And like mom was like making fun of us, like me and my friend. She's like, "You're just getting a large soda." I'm like, "Well, one, to be fair, that's like $10 at the movie theater, and like two, I don't even care if we even got anything. It's still fun." And it was super. It was like 3/4 of the audience was all dressed out. And like even the girls wore like super fancy like evening gown kind of stuff like you would wear to like a fancy dinner. And it was awesome to go to the movie theater and like have everybody like decked out. Felt like we were going to the Emmys or something.
Boy. Let's start the show, shall we?
Do it.
Start the show, shall we?
20-0 New England. Goodness gracious, Houston.
Tom Brady's not going to have a job in a couple weeks. Speaking of mascots, Tom Brady, I bet he could wear that outfit.
True.
Let's go ahead. Let's start with Amiibo, shall we?
All right.
What do we got cooking from Nintendo?
Who sponsors this segment?
Ooh, that's a good call. See, limited edition, I don't do it. Then we're on the regular show. We're talking politics. We're talking mucus on appendixes. Things happen. I forget what's going on. Amiibo, this is sponsored by a good friend, Michael O'Driscoll. You can find him on Twitter at amiibo_museum. He's excited for some upcoming releases of Amiibo. I guarantee it.
Right.
And it's starting to feel like they're about to happen. They're right around the corner.
Yep. It's true. Also, when you said about the museum, everything I was going to say, Ken, I don't know if you saw the tweet out or not, worked like 200 feet away from where the alleged terrorist got caught on Monday.
Uh-huh.
And it was so funny because we were just talking. I was talking to my brother because they had the mayor of that town on, and we were watching the press conference with him. And my cousin was like, "I feel bad for this guy because this is like never in his like." You could tell he was not prepared for it, you know, because like this town in New Jersey, like whatever's gonna happen in this town, you know?
Right.
Like something like this. I told him like, "Yeah, I don't even know what's going on in that town." And Ken tweeted, I'm like, "Oh shoot!" I was like, "I do know somebody in that area." But
see, again, I get confused with everything that's going on in that part of the world because everything is so close together that I know it's like super close to New York City, and I just, for some reason, in my head, New Jersey is just a suburb of New York City.
it pretty much is.
Like, I know it's not, but in my head, that's how I see it. So, whatever.
But yeah, so for Amiibo this week, again, we're getting close to some Amiibo launches. The big way for us is November 4th is the next big release, but there is some stuff coming out in October in other regions. And again, everybody else is getting the Super Mario Brothers line before the North America. So it'll be coming quick and heavy, and then the Zelda line, that's coming out, so we're going to be popping stuff out real quick. But as far as this week, we did get our first look at the Monster Hunter Amiibo in the retail box. Pretty interesting to see because it's freaking huge. So
it's a lot of plastic.
Yeah, I kind of just want to see it in North America just because I want to see it on the shelf. I don't, you know, not even the like fact of getting it here. I just want to see it on the shelf. It's gonna be one of those items that's like a pain in the butt to keep stock, like because if you're gonna keep like one on a peg because it's so deep,
yeah,
like you're gonna have to be restocking that thing. Kind of like same thing I worked at Lowe's. We had a high volume item, but it was also a high volume theft item. So we could only keep like one or maybe two if we were on a weekend, like on the shelf. Mm-hmm. And like I felt like all I was doing was just constantly putting a new one out. You know?
Is that why those stores only have like one of certain things?
Yeah. It was
I never knew that.
Yeah, it's a high theft item.
Okay, makes
sense. Typically they have, well, depending on the store. Sometimes stores put like a colored dot near it. That way it tells you, so when you're stocking shelves, not to, because sometimes you just get in the groove and you just start, you know, you're not really thinking, especially when it's like late at night after closing. So they put the dot there and you're like, oh, before I put another item on there, like one thing there.
Sure.
But exciting to see that. It was pretty cool. The other weird thing this week is we got a weird look of Bayonetta, amiibo look, I guess you could call it.
Yeah.
It was so funny when they first posted the picture. Like when I saw it, I'm like, "What the heck even is that thing?" Like I didn't even read the headline yet because I just first saw the picture.
Sure.
I'm like, what is this? And then like, cause even I thought, because when I first saw it, I saw it on Amiibo News, Jason's account.
What?
And
I tweeted before him.
I didn't see it.
I tweeted so far ahead of him.
I didn't have my timeline open. I just have his tweet sent to my phone. And so I saw it, and I thought he was trying to be a freaking clickbaiter. And I'm like, Jason, are you freaking kidding me right now? And I click on the article. I'm like, oh, that's literally all it is. So yeah, it was interesting to see that. But it's that's still happening at some point, I guess.
Platinum Games is Platinum Games. Okay, so this is a Smash Brothers amiibo, right?
Yes.
Platinum Games is talking about it. I know they're super proud. They should be. But like they're giving off the vibe that like Yacht Club Games did with the Shovel Knight, where it's like their amiibo that they're putting out type of thing.
Sure.
So kind of weird messaging.
Well, and I think it's unique because obviously it was like a fan vote thing, and then they had to approve it, getting it in. Like it's been a couple of month thing, so really it's been their amiibo to make. It's not like it's, like with a sign or something like that, where they just sign it right off on a piece of paper and off it went.
Right.
Because again, it was all based off of stuff in the game and everything. So I don't think Sega probably never even had like a approval on the amiibo. It probably just done, but I'm sure Platinum Games had an approval on it. So
yeah, it's Platinum Games doesn't have much else to talk about at the moment. So yeah, it's cool. I know people are excited to see Bayonetta and what she looks like, and it's going to be a really cool amiibo. It's nice to see that it's still coming out, we think.
Yeah. NX launch, man.
Probably.
They're going to package one of each of the three. NX is going to come out in 3 colors, and each amiibo is going to be packaged in with 1 color.
What a great way to sell a console. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, you would think that that'd be a great way to sell amiibo. No, that's a great way to sell a console.
That's right.
I like
By
it.
multiple. Also, like when we talk about, I love how like all the which shout out to Nintendo Inquirer because I think they did it a little bit differently. When the Wall Street Journal put the article out about the Pokemon coming to the NX, and like everybody, that was their headline, like Pokemon coming to the NX confirmed. Lottie freaking da,
right.
But then like they changed it, and Nintendo Wire, excuse me. They took, which is the more interesting quote to me, was about like them talking about the hybrid between the two console and handheld thing. Now, even though we all know that's a thing, that was still more interesting to me than the Pokemon coming to the NX quote. No duh, but that was a little bit more interesting to hear that from somebody.
Right.
So we'll see.
Yep, we certainly will.
I was saying if we go through October and we still don't know anything about the console, it's time to freaking panic. That's my opinion.
What if they pull an Apple?
Just launch that day.
They have a press conference and they say pre-orders are now available. It releases in 2 weeks.
That'd be awesome.
They could get away with it.
It could. It'd be Lake City right now, though.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Like, people say like it wouldn't work because of like the Sega Saturn and how disastrous that was. But like that happened at a time when we didn't have social media. If Nintendo were to do that now, everybody would know about it. 100%. So, I don't know. It would be fun, but like selfishly, and I think everybody else is kind of in the same boat, like we just want to know what it is.
Sure.
So, but, at the same time, if they like had the announcements, if they did a press conference or direct or whatever, then boom, instantly it's coming out like in a week or two. They would own gaming headlines for the next couple weeks.
Yeah. I saw someone just joke saying, like, what if the mini NES is the NX?
Goodness gracious. Let's move on to, let's talk about some LEGO Dimensions, shall we?
Let's do it.
LEGO Dimensions, part of the podcast, is sponsored by our good friend in the UK, James Holian. You can find him on Twitter at Infinity Museum. He's gearing up for the launch of Season 2, Year 2, Series 2 of LEGO Dimensions. Have they confirmed?
It's Season 2 officially. Officially what it's called.
Okay.
Yes. Other people call it year 2 and stuff like that. Season 2 is they need to lock it down better in my opinion, because series 2 or year 2 I think gives a false representation versus season 2.
Yeah.
Just because when you hear series 2 and when you hear year 2, I think it gives you a pre-existing notion of what, like, to me that screams more of a you need to buy a new starter pack. Season 2 is a newer term, like you don't really hear that used often, so I think that kind of allows you to form your own opinions of what it is. So I wish they would push that more, calling it season 2, or just drop it all together, just call it wave whatever.
Right.
That's the best option.
Yeah. Stop the confusing, but then you have the gold bases and whatever. It doesn't matter. Things are coming out. James Holland, he's excited for it. We're excited for it. What's going on in the world of LEGO Dimensions less than a week before launch?
Yeah, I said
launch.
September 27th is going to be a big day of year. See, there we go. Wave 6 coming out. Got a bunch of packs. And obviously getting a new starter pack with Supergirl in it. It is available now at some point. Like Toys R Us, you can do it in-store pickup on. I don't know if it'll approve it or not, but it's available. Which is a shame because last week they had it on sale, so I was trying to find it at my Toys R Us trying to get it for $40 off.
I've checked my Toys R Us and no luck with the Supergirl. Nope.
But yeah, so that's coming all out next week. Exciting for times for that. I'll keep you up to date with sales as much as possible. We do know Target has a buy one get one free on fun packs. So if you want to pick up BA Baracus, if there's no sales other places, might want to swing by Target and pick it up there because you can pick up another fun pack of whatever you want. Although some people are complaining like, oh, it's a pointless sale. It's better than nothing. So check that out. But again, the big shocker this week. Again, Monday morning, completely out of nowhere. I guess they had the EGX this week, but even still, it's just, I don't know, it felt really random to me. They announced a new wave-ish, per se, for LEGO Dimensions, officially titled Wave 7.5.
What's the deal with this?
Well, let me cover this in a second.
Okay.
So we're getting 3 things in this wave. We are getting pack number 71264, which is the Lego Batman movie story pack.
Okay.
Available with Robin and Batgirl. So we're getting 2 minifigures in this. The actual piece count for the gateway is like 100 pieces lower, so they're nice and kind of to chuck in a minifigure to try and somewhat keep your price point somewhat relative. But then also getting Batman in a fun pack. That's 71344. That is going to be a time exclusive to Target, and that is the Excalibur Batman, who looks freaking pimpin', and also with a belt piece, which is new. So excited to see that. It's also on Batgirl as well. And then also in that fun pack, we're also getting a Bionic Steel horse thing.
Because Batman. And finally, we're getting the Knight Rider fun pack that we knew was coming. With Michael Knight and Kit. And that is pack number 71286. The interesting thing with this is Knight Rider we thought was a completely different set number. Obviously, it's not like that leaked set unless we had it was set in stone, but it was just odd that all 3 of these weren't on that leaked set list. So I still know what the connectables are. We might never know what those are. That might be my dying grave bedside question to Arthur Parsons. I feel like we can get this information out of Jimmy.
That's true.
Give us an hour with Jimmy.
Get him drunk.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty cool figures there. The wave thing, what's interesting about it all is this is all coming out February 10th. And so they previously announced and seemed like we were going to do, which they did say, this is going to be September, then 2 months to October, or November. There's going to be 2 months to January, and then 2 months to March. And that was kind of what they said. Nothing was official. And then this happens February 10th, which is the release date of Batman, the movie. So my theory with it is that they were planning on doing a January launch of something. I don't know. Obviously, probably not that because they want to keep the story pack later. But something happened. Either they're adding more packs to the development cycle. Year 3, they might be, I don't say necessarily delaying, but they might be changing the release frame on that. Or something they were trying to spread it out. now versus having everything done by May. So we're getting this little half wave in February, beginning of February. Wouldn't be surprised if we're getting the fuller wave at the end of February, or maybe just beginning of March. But it seems like this is going to now. In my opinion, we're going to gain more than 9 waves, or they're just spreading out, doing more half waves. So we might getting one every month instead of every 2 months.
Sure.
So just getting smaller half waves. Or same thing, since half of this is store exclusives. Well, 2/3 of it technically, I guess. That again, they just might be moving stuff around just because it's stores are getting involved with LEGO Dimensions more,
right?
So they're doing these. I think this was a because even Arthur Parsons even said in one stream he was like, I don't even know why he even said I don't even know why they're calling it this. So
yeah.
Which I'm sure they probably knows, but he just forgets or something.
Sure.
Probably in some weird email. So I don't think there's any kind of huge strategic thing. I think it's not even marketing. I think it's just a business decision with deals that came in for store exclusives and
sure.
maybe trying to spread things out.
And honestly, I'm okay with them spreading it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
A couple things each month. Like we talked about it last year when it released, like how it felt there would be like a big release and then it slogged down to like silence from them for about a month and a half up until they started ramping up for the next release. And like those ebbs and flows, like you lose customers and you lose interest because people aren't playing the game for a year straight. There's way more other games to play. People move on from things, and if you're not constantly engaging with your audience, you're going to lose their attention. So smaller, quicker releases, I'm totally okay with.
Yeah, absolutely. And see, like, especially with a game like this, there's no reason why they need to take the summer off per se. I mean, if they have stuff done, it's not like, why don't you just keep releasing it throughout the summer instead of being done in May and having this huge lull? Because right now the summer's up for grabs. Nobody does anything. So might as well put your content out in summer.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It's marketing mumbo jumbo to have like wave 7.5. Like it's unnecessary, it adds a little bit of confusion to the people that aren't paying close attention to it, but it's whatever.
Sure.
Yeah. Green Arrow and Supergirl. Yeah,
so again, as we talked about before, my prediction all along is that they were going to release this more widely public than just the polybags. That was somewhat confirmed this week. Arthur Parsons saying that they heard the general public and they're having meetings and stuff like that. Again, this is one of those, like, if anyone was surprised by the outrage, they should be fired.
Yeah. They knew what they were getting into from day one.
And so again, and then this is you get negative PR now with people getting mad, but there's very few people that don't buy things. I mean, there's a couple of people like, I'm not buying this game anymore. Okay, if you aren't buying a game because you couldn't get the 1 figure or 2 figure, okay, bye.
That doesn't change the game at all.
Right. Like, okay, have fun. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
See you next week when you're back in the game.
Right.
But again, and then they just positive PR like, oh, we're listening to you, blah, 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 blah. And then people are like, oh, see, we love you. So I think it's always been the plan. I still don't think they're going to release a general thing. It might be a promotional item somehow, even at Toys R Us, buy 2 things, you get this free, or at the Lego store, spend like $30, you get something for free. Because it's easier. Because the problem they're going to have now, it's a little bit late to make a lot of manufacturing and like business deals as far as getting stuff in for like a wide release.
Yep.
So, but they can do it like one store, like a Toys R Us or GameStop or Lego shop. Says like, hey, we'll take them. We'll just for a giant promotion. So, still think it's coming. Again, don't freak out.
And they can't package them as like a buddy pack or anything like that because they don't come with the gadgets or vehicles or
I
just
think
the 2 minifigures.
Yeah, because I think they're going to keep them into polybag. It doesn't make sense to make a brand new cardboard thing. They'll just call the manufacturer like, hey, produce X number or more of these. So that's why I think it's be a promotional for something, but we'll see.
Yeah. Either way, people need to just relax, like
on good time.
I'm pretty sure we said this on the show that, we wouldn't be surprised to see them be available easier to get than, what you have to go through now. So breathe. Deep breaths, folks. Deep breaths. Is that for LEGO Dimensions?
Yep. Getting exciting though. A lot of videos out. Like character introduction videos. Still knowing the cool ones where the dialogue. But and they did confirm a couple of like cool voice actor stuff. Like they got Eddie Redmayne to come in to do new stuff for that, for Fantastic Beasts. The voice of Hagrid's coming in to record new lines.
Yep.
Bunch of new stuff. So pretty cool that there's still, stuff they don't really necessarily have to do.
Yeah.
But it's fun to have stuff in there because you can definitely tell when it's recycled audio and stuff that's not.
Sure.
And it is now more fun to play the characters that have fresh audio versus the recorded audio.
Absolutely. Yeah. Especially because like one of the best parts about Lego Dimensions was listening to the interactions of the different characters. That we're theoretically meeting for the first time, in this game. And they have like this awesome dialogue and funny little moments between each other. It's they could phone it in at this point, I feel like, with all the great franchises that they have and still make a lot of money, but they're not. Like they're not resting on their laurels. They're pushing forward and trying to be as best as they possibly can. And that's exciting.
Indeed.
Let's move on to Skylanders Imaginators. This one is sponsored by a good friend, Matt Sonnenberg. You can find on Twitter at SCLMatt. You could also find on Twitter at AsAMatterOfMatt. You can find him at his website, asamatterofmatt.com. Or, if you'd like to see what he's really up to when he's quote-unquote working, you could go over to sclmatt.com and click on the various links that he has there and see what that guy's up to when he's not tweeting about the Packers incessantly for days on end. He tweets about the Packers more than you tweet about Philly sports. And that's saying something.
He's just getting his personal tweet game going on,
I appreciate it. I mean,
finding his niche.
When you live in Wisconsin, there aren't a lot of things going on. You might as well just tweet about the Packers.
It's true.
It's a true story. Anyway.
It's been 10 straight games that he's had a QB rating lower than 100. Which is odd to me. Because he just seems like one of those quarterbacks that's just always like on point.
Oh, we're talking about Aaron Rodgers, not Matt.
Yes. Yes. Well, and like Blaine Gabbert's had a better 10-game average than he has.
I blame Aaron Rodgers' girlfriend.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Clearly it's the problem.
And that, and he gave up milk in his diet.
In Wisconsin, of all places.
Matt loves when we bring that up.
How is that guy still a Packer?
I will say, though, I enjoy watching Packers games because nothing gets me more excited when he just flings 60-yard balls like it's like a 5-yard pass.
Sure.
Like, the dude just flings. I have no idea how he gets so much oomph.
Yeah.
Like, it's no problem.
He has a cannon, and it never looks like there's any effort behind it.
It doesn't really look big.
Also, he throws to the most random people because I never know which receivers the Packers have going on at any given point.
Also,
they're always getting hurt.
Is it Toyota, the car commercial? Have you seen it with him and Clay Matthews?
No, I tend not to watch very many commercials since I don't have cable anymore.
Well, it's on the football games.
Well, I don't watch football games.
There's a commercial with Clay. I think Clay Matthews and Aaron Rodgers, and like Clay Matthews does like this pump up speech and like yelling and like, yeah, let's do this, like this, like he normally does, and it's followed up like Aaron Rodgers like, yeah, guys, like I'm like, it's super weird. You have to watch it. I'm like, who the fuck are you? Like it just seems weird for Aaron Rodgers. He's not the hype man.
Right.
So it's just odd to see him trying to be Clay Matthews, Brian Dawkins-esque in the huddle. It's just odd.
Discount double check.
Discount double check
your way over to sclmatt.com or SkylandersCharacterList.com and learn all about the new things going on with Skylanders Imaginators. Jason, What's going on with Skylanders Imaginators?
Yeah, so we have a bunch of random stuff. We're doing a roundup here eventually. It's like a bunch of just small little stuff I didn't really feel like making a post for, and I also just didn't want to like really put a tweet out. Like, eventually there's got to be more news coming out, and it seems like nothing big has come out. So it's just I'm just gonna make a weird roundup. Like, I think it's gonna title it like, here's a bunch of random facts that happened this week. Because with Skylanders, again, it's always this weird, just random small leaks are coming out from different places. But
I mean, we know they're not going to confirm anything.
Yeah, we had leaks this week from so far. Let's see, the Netherlands, I believe, South Africa,
yep,
Russia.
Okay, have we had a Russian leak yet?
We might have.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
hard to say.
I'll have to go back. Vimeo and and then Skylanders website themselves.
See,
Um,
when we play Leak Bingo, we only play one true way to play bingo, and that's blackout.
right,
If you're not playing blackout with your bingo card, you're not playing bingo.
right.
Get out of here with that 5 in a row nonsense. Full card. We're getting close with the
Go
amount
big or go
of
home.
Vimeo, add that to the like. It's getting out of hand, Jason.
It's true. Speaking of bingo, go to YouTube. Practical Jokers Bingo Ultimate Punishment. Funny as all heck. We talked about that too, didn't we?
I don't know if we've ever talked about bingo in a literal sense on this podcast.
And Practical Jokers is a hilarious TV show.
Sure. Yep.
But anyways, one guy's ultimate punishment, he had to go to, I think it was like Las Vegas, or maybe it was still in New York, where they're based at. But he had to go to a legitimate hardcore bingo tournament thing where like they have a TV and all this bit thing, like 300 people, and just keep yelling bingo, even though he doesn't have bingo. And people were getting ticked off. And man, some of the old ladies in there looked like they were about to slice his throat.
You don't mess with bingo, man.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny. There's very few times where I laugh at him, but sometimes I like it just makes me cringe because it's so like awkward. I can't even handle it, and this one's like, oh my gosh, I just felt so terrible. But anyways, yeah. So some stuff going on this week. Big thing, mystery blind bags are coming back. Hashtag Team Blind Bag. We know about the Imaginate. What is it again? Imaginite. Imaginite creation mystery.
Sure.
Stuff.
I don't.
Pirates are stuff.
It's hard to say.
Also, what do you call a pirate that skips classes?
A pirate that skips classes.
This is in honor of National Talk Like a Pirate Day this week.
Shout out to Pirate Steven.
Yes.
Who I still want to call Pirate Steve. It sounds weird to say Steven.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What do you call a pirate that skips classes?
Captain Hooky. All right. But yeah, so these are coming in these individual blind bags, one per bag, it looks like. You put it down, you get 9 pieces for your Imaginator to unlock. That's all we know so far. We don't know if you have to put it down, we don't know if it's a one-time thing and then you pitch it into the trash, whether you give it to a friend, if they'll get the same thing, if they'll get different thing, if it's random, is there exclusive? We don't know anything out at this point, but there's blind bag, at least 3 different color packages, and there's 3 different chests. It doesn't seem like it matches up a chest with the color because it's like green, blue, and purple, and the chests are bronze, silver, and gold. So I don't know what's happening with them, but some kind of blind bag-esque thing is definitely with them. My prediction with it is that logically I think the gold would be more valuable than the bronze one. So I think there's not going to be anything exclusive to these chests, but I think this is the kind of way that you can buy your items for your Imaginator,
right.
And unlock them without having to do stuff in the game. And so you might be able to get the harder to get or harder to find stuff with the gold chests, down there. But we'll see. Curious on pricing on it, too. But it's curious to see. What are you excited for? More blind bags?
I don't. It's weird because it's like a blind bag inside of a blind bag, like at least with like the Disney Power Disc blind bags, like you were trying to obtain something that had like a physical representation of what you can unlock in game. These blind bags are just like going to be chests that unlock random things in the game. So like, I don't want 86 different little chests sitting around. Like, right. What do you do with these things afterwards? And
back to Vicarious Visions in a thing with stuff out.
Melt them down and make your own Thrillipede out of them. I don't.
Can we please make a YouTube video of us melting them down and like trying to like find them into like real gold?
Maybe you send them back to Cartoon Network and they send you. We'll get to that in a second.
Redeem 20 of them.
I do have a teaser for those of you that may skip out on the email section of the podcast. I do have a really great email coming up from Green Armadillo that has packed lots of information about Skylanders that I haven't really seen anywhere else. A lot of in-game stuff. And one of the paragraphs is specifically talking about the Imaginite chests. So stay tuned for that, Jason.
I'll be staying. I'm very excited for that.
You should be.
So yeah, some other stuff going on this weekend. With that, I should say, yeah, the crystals. They are what they. I'm not expecting you to have to buy like 50 of them. You know, I'll buy them to complete the collection, but yeah, I don't expect anything.
Right.
I think it's just one of those giving you another option, and again, you know, it is what it is. It's their version of in-game purchases, you know, IGPs, but buying physical chests. But yeah, so other stuff, we did get a official reveal of Pit Boss finally coming to Skylands Imaginators. When that was on the website, it also then showed off Legendary Pit Boss by accident. Not the figure itself, but a picture announcing it.
Yeah.
And then speaking of the Legendary, we're also getting Tri-Tip will be coming in the Legendary line to Toys R Us. That will be coming first. That'll be coming on launch. That is available at pre-order already on the website. Haven't heard anything about the cards in the store yet. I don't think any of the cards have showed up yet, but I imagine you'll probably be able to pre-order that soon in store.
Sure.
But the Legendary line this year are black and gold versus, they're red and gold.
Yes.
Compared to their black and gold. But they look really nice. Actually, the Legendary line, like, I appreciate it, but I really like the colors on this one this year.
They look like Iron Man.
It's true.
I like them. Do we know how many Legendaries are going to be?
No.
Okay.
How many were last year? 4?
No Legendaries last year.
What are you talking about? We had Legendary Astro Blast and all that fun jazz.
Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Okay, you're totally right. We had a couple. Roller Brawl, Jetpack, Astro Blast, and then the vehicle. I think that was it.
Yeah, so we'll see. It's 3 or 4. It sounds about right.
Was it the year before we didn't have Legendaries? No, we had Legendaries then for Trap Team. Huh. Okay,
You're
never mind.
going crazy.
Maybe.
But yeah, anyways, they look pretty cool. The color change is just basically due to the lineup this year. They have a couple of dark characters, so it's kind of one of those. It's weird to make them distinguishable, especially when all the characters have a gold belt on Sensei and stuff. So it's like, hey, let's just choose a color that we're not currently using. I guess there's not a lot of red. So I think they look great. Like, don't get me wrong, like, Tri-Tip obviously looks cool in his default, you would think, dinosaur colors.
Yeah.
But looks friggin' awesome in Legendary. And same with Pit Boss. I mean, just the weird picture we've seen so far.
Mm-hmm. Did we know Pit Boss was a snake before this?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we knew it was an amphibian kind of a thing. I don't necessarily know if we knew it was a snake or not.
Gotcha. Because I was caught off guard. For some reason, the name Pit Boss never in my head registered as being like a snake, which 100% makes sense. Pit Viper, whatever. Right. But like when I saw it, I'm like, oh, that's brilliant. I love that so much. Yeah. Silly me. Also, the Tri-Tip Legendary colors, they kind of look like those should be his standard colors.
Yeah.
I don't know why. They fit.
For Tri-Tip, you said?
Yeah, Tri-Tip.
Yeah.
It just looks like that's his standard color palette, you know?
It's true.
I like it.
Are we
going to have a Legendary Crystal?
That's a good question. I wouldn't be surprised. There was one this weekend that showed up, like, I don't know if it was at EGX or somewhere else, that looked like worn, per se. Not like it, like designed worn. And I didn't, like, I was going to do some more research on other stuff, but it looked like that could be, like, some kind of variant kind of thing.
Like a battle damage?
Yes, yeah.
Huh. That's cool.
But it didn't look like it was, like it was just being used. Like, it looked like it was designed that way.
It's just getting really rough treatment, packed up, and shipped off all over the country.
Taken around all weekend.
Yeah.
Or all the country. Excuse me. I get this weird thing where I talk so much on this, and I have to try to swallow, and I can't do it. And, like, awkward silence comes in there. I now have, like, spit stuck in my.
One of these days, like, you're just not going to respond, and and I'm going to be very concerned and still try to do the show and wonder where you went. I'll just assume Skype dropped our call, and I'll just keep going.
Very professional thing.
People don't come here for professionalism. I can guarantee you that.
And, like, anytime you hear, like, deep silence things, because, like, Amy's getting ready for this weekend, so she keeps asking questions for what to wear stuff, so I'm sitting trying to process that at the same time, so I apologize.
She knows that your Skype dates are Wednesday nights. I have you Thursday. She needs to learn how to share.
How it still worked out.
We have split custody. You, me, and her.
That's right.
So,
but yeah, so in addition to that, some other store exclusive we know.
hey, real quick, shout out to Atari Alex for just now answering the community question.
After you give me, here's the thing: if he's gonna petition to be a co-host and he hasn't answered the community question yet,
Just now popped up, Alex. Seriously, you've had all day.
he's just trying to time it right so that like we read his live or something,
Unbelievable.
which I guess just worked. But yeah, other store exclusives popped up. Hoodsicle is getting a variant. One would think, oh, I guess it's already dark, maybe like a legendary version.
Sure.
No, he's getting steel plated.
Yeah.
Sure. Like, okay, cool. Make it look army green. Nope, barf green, mold booger green again. So is what it is. I'm getting it, but still looks hideous.
I'm getting it and hiding it behind all the other characters. I just don't understand the color choice.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I understand, like, the steel plate. Like, you want to go silver, and, like, I'm okay with that. Like you said, like, army green I'd be okay with, probably. But, like, the weird shade of, like, non-realistic looking green at all in any shape or form, it's... especially with that character, also.
Yeah.
Like, they maybe should have picked a different character to do the steel plate. Like, I wonder how much input these stores that get the exclusive have on which characters are going to have variants, you know?
Variants. Sure.
Like, do they get to pick, like, Toys R Us is like, oh, we want tri-tip for legendary. Best Buy's like, shucks. Let's go with Hoodsicle instead.
Hoodsicle. See, it would have been cool, especially with villains, if like they did steel plating, especially with that green.
Yeah.
It could have be all like glow in the dark. You know, if they made like the old chase variants they have too.
Sure.
But especially with the villains, it'd be fun to have them glowing. Which also did you see? You probably didn't see this, but Walmart has I don't know if they're steel books or if they are just normal packaging, but they have all the classic like Frankenstein, Wolfman, all the classic villain movies. What's the word? Monster movies. But the packaging is glow in the dark.
Nice.
I'm like, big old nope on that. You know, like actually be on the shelf so you wouldn't notice it. And also like Frankenstein's glowing on your shelf.
Also, you know what time of year it is when you start getting like the boo berries out on store shelves.
Yes.
Shout out to boo berries.
Yeah, man.
Good stuff, man. Count Chocula. Frankenberries. Come on now.
But yeah.
Sorry, derailed you with some cereal talk.
So good. Also had my I've had two pumpkin spice lattes this week. So
oh wow.
Full blown in the fall season.
Yeah.
But yeah, some other Nitros have not shown up yet. Skylands Nitro series.
Thank goodness.
So listen, all you haters.
You just like it because it reminds you of a checkered flag from a race.
No, that's not true at all.
Yes, it is.
No, that was that one.
You NASCAR honk.
Got that right. But a new line did show up of Mystical Taekwon Crow.
Yep.
So we don't know if that's going to be a line, if that's like a variant, whatever that is. Again, that showed up on the Skylanders site. They leaked it again. But I don't know. Like, it could be a Target or a GameStop line, if they're trying to match up colors at least with the stores. I could see something like that. Otherwise, I have no idea what it is. But again, maybe since people don't like the Nitro line, Target's like, hey, give us something else.
Right.
And they came up with this. It could be pretty cool, but again, like the red and black was already a color on Taekwon Crow, so it doesn't like. I kept looking at it when it first leaked. I'm like, but is that the normal one or is that the variant one? Because it looks the same. So we'll see if they do other lines. Hopefully they do it for that. But interesting to see that. Halloween Chopscotch did show up again on a different retailer site. Not the image, but the listing. So that's definitely confirmed now. Something I talked about last week. It real quickly said about there's an 8-pack creation crystal that was going to be coming.
Yep.
A picture showed up on the Russian site, and they showed all 8 in like a nice, not in a package, but like in a nice background. Like it doesn't look like somebody distorted. It looks like an official sent to them.
Sure.
And they, again, some of them are ones I've never even seen before, mold wise. So,
but it is the 8 elements that do not come with a starter pack, correct?
Yes. It's all fire's not included, and one other one like.
Okay.
I can't remember what it is, but like I think dark and light both come in. It's like another real random one. Like
Water. They're just not going to make any water.
So again, be curious to see that. I'm hoping we get some pictures up soon. Or once they start shipping to stores to know like what all the molds are going to be to try and keep your eye out for. Because that was the most fun, but also like the most stressful thing with Trap Team was like Vince and I are trying to figure out like, do we have this one yet? Like, was this one like we didn't even know if we were going to have them all, what to look for.
Well, that and they had like one mold for like 3 different elements for no rhyme or reason.
Right.
It's like, why are these 3 elements have this one mold? But then it was so random, so random. Yeah. Also, like you can never tell like which element had yawn traps and which ones didn't have yawn traps, and which yawn traps you already had and which yawn traps you didn't already have, and
so many yawn traps.
Just yawn trap after yawn trap after yawn trap. Maybe they didn't release yawn traps because nobody bought the water traps, and that was their way of punishing people.
It's everybody's fault. You should have bought all the water traps.
Yeah. Half of them aren't even blue. You can get crystal clear water traps.
Yeah, man.
You're losing money not buying them.
You're losing money not buying them. I still one of these days, I just want to contact someone at Toys R Us corporate and just be like, legit, what would I have to give you to buy like my entire district's amount of water traps and like core hexes? Like what would you take as a write-off?
I don't understand why they don't discount them like the like core hexes. Now they're 99 cents, buy one get 2 free. Like, why don't they do those with the water traps?
Yeah,
let's move them off the shelf.
I just feel like I just wish I could like make a deal with the postal service or something. Just like make some kind of joke like every day Skylands headquarters would get a package from me containing like a water trap and a like core hex.
And a wanted poster of Thrillipede.
Yeah. Every day for like
Have you seen this Skylander? I haven't.
Here's these two. Fuse them together. But then the other big news this week, again a bunch of little smaller stuff, but as far as headlining things, we did get the Netflix show premiere on October 28th.
Yeah.
So exciting. Yeah, it seems to be 13 episodes. There's 26 episodes in the 2 seasons, so I would assume there's 13 episodes.
Sure.
Probably half an hour. But again, premiering October 28th. For people who are trying to want to watch it right off the bat, expect it to be around 3:00 a.m. Eastern time on that Friday morning. So if you want to stay up or just want to catch it in the morning, there you go with that. I was kind of hoping they were going to break the mold and do it like on a Saturday kind of a thing.
Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously you understand. I mean, they have to do it while people are working the normal work week to get it all ready to go. But
sure.
Exciting that. I'm also kind of glad it's not on launch week. It's a couple weeks afterwards just to give you something else to look forward to.
It's Halloween weekend, kids are going to be at home alone watching Netflix while their parents are out at Halloween parties. It happens.
It's true.
From what I hear.
Yeah. I used to love going around being when I grew up, the house I lived at was somewhat of like a not a hot spot, but it was a nicer place where you get a bunch of kids always come by.
Sure.
It was always fun to come by, but then this year, where my house is now, it's even more in town, but I don't get anybody. It's kind of a
Halloween itself, trick-or-treating has drastically dropped off. Having kids and seeing it firsthand, it is becoming less and less of a thing every year.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad.
I will say best Halloween costume I saw one time at my parents' house. Kid came up, and again, I don't know if this is his thing. I don't know if he got the middle child out or what it was. Mm-hmm. 2 kids dressed up as football players, in full thing. And then this kid comes waddling up to the door as a freaking scoreboard, like a 4-foot box.
Nice.
With his arms sticking out the side.
Right.
2 siblings are football players, and he's a scoreboard.
Do you remember back in 92, 93? I don't even know if you were born yet.
Yes, I was.
the big baseball strike where it ended the season halfway through.
Yeah.
There was no World Series or anything like that.
I wasn't aware of it happening, but I know about it.
Sure. You know of it happening.
Yes.
That Halloween, I dressed up as a on-strike baseball player. Because I was so mad. I had like my baseball pants and cleats because I played baseball as a kid, and I made like a picket sign instead of like with like a fence board post holding the sign. It was a baseball bat, and the sign said something like I can't remember exactly what it said, but it had something to do with like refusing to work until I got more money or something like that. And I took like Monopoly money and like glued it all over the sign, and like had Monopoly money like sticking out of my baseball, like out of my pockets and whatnot. So I was like, I was trying to prove a point that like baseball players are making millions of dollars and they're on strike and refusing to play because they're not making enough money. And I was super mad as a kid. I was like, how dare you cancel the rest of the baseball season? Ken Griffey Jr. having the season of a lifetime. He's on pace to break every home run record this season. And you guys are just going to end the season out of nowhere? We're not even going to have a World Series. The World Series didn't happen. Could you imagine if the NFL was like, no, we're not going to have a Super Bowl this year? It'd be insanity. For them not to have a World Series that year blew my mind. I was so mad. So mad at like the players, the league, everybody associated with it. I'm like, what? It's Halloween, and we're not talking about who's winning the World Series right now. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So mad.
I will say one of the best things there is with the NFL a couple seasons ago when they had the lockout for like a week, so they had to cram the offseason into like 3 weeks. Dude, I just remember my phone going off alerts like crazy, especially also for Eagles fans, even though they didn't turn off, but the Eagles are just buying it. Dude, that was just an absolutely nuts couple of weeks.
Remember that referee strike?
Yeah. Who were the Packers playing that game?
Seahawks.
That's right.
Yep.
Guess where I was when I watched that game?
Where?
Sitting in my hotel in Disney World.
Guess where I was?
Where?
Driving down to California. It happened middle of the night when we got to California with the family. Was like reading about the game the next morning. And I was like, that happened. Sucks I missed that.
Woof, man.
That was the last time we saw replacement refs.
Oh my gosh, that was so bad. Anyway, Skylanders. So lastly for iPod, this show is just off the rails. Oh my gosh, I apologize. If this is your first time listening, welcome to Toys for Games Cast.
Please come back next week. We promise it'll be slightly mediocrely better.
But yeah, so the last thing, we got some more information due to a leaked video on Vimeo from somebody talking about the Skylanders creation app, which has also leaked recently. Not the app, but that there was going to be an app.
Yes.
Which we talked about before.
Yep. And
I said I thought they were going to do that kind of allow you to start working on your Imaginator beforehand, and you could transfer it over. It's something very easy to do with all the default stuff.
Sure.
And that still potentially could be something they're going to do.
Just play around with like the different gear that you could get in game, and then you try to transfer a game, and it's like, no, you don't have that yet. Like, it'd be an easy way to promote like buying the treasure chests and stuff.
Right. I hope they do that because I do want to spend time making one, but like when I get the game, like that's the thing with me, like I enjoy like this deep creation that a lot of games have.
Yep.
But like I just want to start playing. Like Skyrim, like so excited for thing. I really don't want to spend 2 hours making a character, so I would appreciate if I could get that ahead of time.
You want to do it at work. Let's be real.
That's right. 100% right. But it is going to, what this apparently is going to be using is allow you to get your creation Imaginator printed, 3D printed, ordered, and printed. So again, logically, build this app, you go to checkout, enter in your PayPal information, or your credit card, talk to your parent, put this whole thing, type in your address, blah, blah, blah.
Steal your parents' credit card, whatever.
Thing. Yeah, right. Or you memorize your parents' credit card, so even if they take it away, it doesn't matter because you already have the numbers memorized. Not that I have experience with that.
Crayon and a piece of paper do like those leaf rubbings, except with a credit card. Just saying.
My mom's credit card for a long time it was like the same 3 numbers, just in various like orders, so like easy to memorize. And so I told him like, not that I like really ever abused it, but I told him I was like, do you realize like you couldn't ever take it away from me because it's in my head, you know? You'd have to order a new number.
It's not like Home Alone where you had to actually give the card and like they made a print of it.
Yeah.
No, not Home Alone. I'm sorry. Christmas Vacation.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? Yeah, was that what you're talking about? The credit, where the old machine where you had to put the credit card down, and had to rub that thing on top of it. Oh my gosh, my work used to have one of those.
Whew, boy. Create your own Skylander.
Yeah, so you can make your own Skylander, but again, that's the logical way of doing it.
Yep.
But that's not apparently the money way of doing it. I guess that's why we're doing it this way. After you're done creating your Skyland Imaginator, you upload it to cartoonnetwork.com/Skylanders.
Sure.
And order it there. So like, what I don't understand what that means. Like, you put it into like a PDF file or something. Like,
they'll probably give you a code. Like it'll probably generate a code, like a 16-digit code or something like that. And it's like, this is your code for the Skylander that you made, and you input this code into cartoonnetwork.com/Skylanders. You input that code, and it's like, oh, you made this Skylander, and then you order from there.
It's true.
That's how I see it happening.
Yeah, that's fair, because again, it's all true, because I guess they just generate one, and then obviously it'll sync with
they know every combination that could possibly happen.
Yeah, right. So yeah, it'll be interesting. But again, we don't know anything about it, because the video it was made was kind of like a advertisement for you already kind of knowing about the app, so we didn't really get any kind of details on the app.
Right.
But he held it up in like a weird, it's like in a container that looks like what the roses in Beauty and the Beast looks like, that kind of container.
Mm-hmm.
With the so I don't really know what's going on with it, but we'll see. It's gonna be interesting.
I hope that is successful for him.
I do too,
because it's a cool thing, and I see some crazy giveaways if it's not too expensive.
It's a true story.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to create. I want to create, and that's the problem. Like, it's good. My prediction is gonna be like $30 plus like $10 in shipping. But I'm hoping it's not like it's like you have to order within the first 2 weeks, or it's gonna be a sellout kind of thing. Because again, like, if I want to unlock stuff, I might not be happy with mine until the end. I don't want to order one right off the bat. But
I bet the app has access to everything. I don't think it'll be tied to the game and what you unlock and don't unlock. I bet you'll be able to make whatever you want.
Maybe.
Because are we going to be able to use the Skylanders in the game? Like, are they going to have NFC chips and everything?
That wasn't talked about.
See, that's why I wonder if it's actually going to be a playable thing, or if it's just like a physical representation of like your created Skylander, but it's just.
I would bet you it has a chip in it.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's possible.
Because NFC tags are like,
sure,
0.5%.
And at that point, then you would need to have need to have unlocked what you made the Skylander. What if they gave away like free or like discount codes to make your own in the chests? Like, randomly just inserted them.
Oh.
You can put down chests. You're like, hey, you're entitled to one free
that would be sweet.
Cartoon Network Skylander 3D printed model version.
Right.
God, they could do so many things with those.
It could do.
Scary.
When we say about it, randomly reminded me of this, because I know we'll be transitioning this topic here in a second. Anyways, for everybody also who gave Lightseekers crap sustainer, copying Battlecast and everything like that.
Yep.
Battlecast friends list has been broken over for over a month.
Yep.
So you can't even play with friends. So copy them all you want, but if they're going to do it better,
sure,
then power to them. So again, Battlecast is dead. It's already dead.
And radio silence from Activision, like they're not actively making sure people know that they're working on it or anything like that.
A couple of developers already left, so it's dead already. It's done.
Which sucks.
Yeah.
So much potential just wasted, flat out
they
wasted.
Screwed it up so bad.
And it wasn't hard either.
No. Again, it's one this is what I tell people all the time. Support Skylanders is fine. Like, I'm not, doing it, but they're not. All they're doing is giant cash grabs every left turn, and they're not putting any effort in. They're not innovating at all. They're just turning the wheel, trying to figure out how to make quick bucks and leaving.
Where's the fan service, Activision? Where's the fan service?
Nowhere. But speaking of fan service,
oh boy, let's talk about some Lightseekers, shall we?
Yes.
Lightseekers, part of the podcast, is sponsored by our friend Christopher Long from Long's Toys. You can find him on Twitter at the letter C, Long83. You can check out his YouTube work over at youtube.com/user/longstoys. I think he's excited for Lightseekers. I'm excited for Lightseekers. A lot of people in this community are excited for Lightseekers. That warms my heart, Jason. I'm happy to see our community respond so positively about a new franchise, and them reaching out to Lightseekers specifically and saying, hey, we're excited for what you guys got. Show us more. And they're like, fine, you want more? Here's some more. It's good stuff, man.
It's great. It is great. Yeah, so they some super high quality videos, like D23 or Disney Infinity Next level quality.
Mm-hmm.
Great behind the scenes. The forum's a lot of fun. Go check out in there. They just released a fan site kit. So, did you download that at all?
Oh yeah, that was so good. Like, how so brilliant.
Yeah, so there's some nice like transparent images if you want to make some stuff, concept art, some beautiful wallpapers, and all huge high quality stuff. Like they're just like, hey, do whatever you want with this stuff.
Give your fans the ability to market for you.
Right.
It's genius.
And they've said this too with the game. The game itself, they're going to eventually be taking feedback the whole time. Like, how do you want to change the game? Like, it's supposed to be a community driven game.
Yeah.
So they're not going to do stuff. So literally, like again. People compare it to Skylanders and blah blah. And even in one interview, they said it's like, they said that's an honor to be compared to that. But they said they feel like Lightseekers is the first innovation in the landscape in 5 years or however long. Right. And it's true, you know. Since as I said before, since Swap Force, Toys to Life has just been there, you know.
Yeah.
A little bit and stuff, but they're doing a lot better, and they're doing it a lot better. So that's my problem. I mean, they're not gonna take down Skylanders single-handedly,
nope.
Things like that. But again, if you can get accepting of the mobile aspect of it all,
yeah.
And
trust me, I understand that's a hard pill to swallow for some people.
Yeah,
I get it.
I think you're gonna love Lightseekers. I think they're gonna do everything Skylanders does and do it better.
Yep,
a lot better.
And the more support they get, the quicker this thing is gonna come to consoles.
Right. And even if you like Skylanders, again, we say before, composition is good no matter what.
Yep.
So even if you like Skylanders, you don't really like Lightseekers. Hope Lightseekers does well, because it should hopefully what it means is that Skylanders is better.
Yeah. Absolutely. So we are looking into getting some more in-depth conversations about Lightseekers on this podcast sometime in the near future. I am working diligently on that. So be excited, folks, because we want to learn some more things. We want to hear from the people making this game. We have some hard-hitting questions for them. We know you guys want some things answered about it as well. So we are doing our best to make that happen for you, I promise.
Yes.
And we're talking about, like, this is 2 weeks in a row now. Like, this is this is cool.
It was awesome. Saw a sponsored ad for them in my Facebook feed today.
Ooh.
So cool to see they're working on sponsoring that. And it was pretty fun. A lot of people were like leaving comments too. They're like, "Whoa, what is this?" Like, so It's working.
100%.
People are excited about it. So I haven't seen too many people give negative stuff beyond people who hardcore drink the Skylanders Kool-Aid and can't look, with a objective viewpoint of it.
Yeah, and it's okay. Like they will never refute the fact that inspiration was taken from Skylanders. Like I guarantee you're not going to hear anybody say, "Oh, we don't know anything about Skylanders. We've never seen Skylanders. This is a completely new concept." Like, they're 100% inspired by Skylanders, and that's okay. It's okay.
Yep.
Just saying. Let's move on, Jason. Let's move on to some fun stuff here. We're gonna talk to the community.
I love talking to the community.
We love the community. We're gonna jump in and talk about the community question first. Everybody's favorite part of the podcast, I bet, because anybody that answers the community question, with the exception of Atari Alex, who decided to answer the community question in the middle of a show, is eligible also with the exception of Shopkins Inquirer, to win an awesome prize for having the
awesome prize.
The response of the week to the community question. This week, with the anticipation level at fever pitch for season 2 of Lego Dimensions.
There you go.
Okay. I wasn't sure when I said it. Going to give away the 8-team fun pack to somebody. Whoever gets the response of the week to this question, they're going to get the 8-team fun pack that releases Tuesday. From me to you.
I remember you play as the full 8-team.
That's right. I totally forgot about that. Good call on that one. So the question was, which Lego Dimensions pack from the upcoming Wave 6, that's the important part, are you most excited for and why? Now, let me tell you this, Jason.
Yeah.
Originally, there was a response that came through, and I was like, you know what? I already know ahead of time, no matter what other people say, this is going to be the winner, because that person picked Sonic. Mm-hmm. They were super excited about Sonic. And I was like, you know what? They're kind of breaking the rules by not even answering like the question as I wrote it, because I specifically wrote Wave 6, and they're still labeling Sonic as like their most anticipated figure.
Yeah.
And I was like, if there's anything more Lego Dimensions, it would be to actually breaking the rules, right?
Sure.
But then it happened like 4 more times.
Because people don't know. Like, people just think Sonic's in the first thing.
Yeah, that's true. At first I was like, they're not even reading the question. And then it dawned on me, they've been showing so much Sonic recently, it makes sense for people to think that Sonic is coming out very, very soon.
Sure.
So, no fault to them, but because so many people answer Sonic, I can't go with my original idea of rewarding that person as the winner. So, with that being said, let's read through the responses we had here.
I forget who picked the last 2, but I think I have one, too.
I enjoy letting you pick.
Sure.
Yeah. If I ever, like, adamantly dispute your decision, I'll let you know.
Sure. So community question, which LEGO Dimensions pack from the upcoming Wave 6 are you most excited for, and why? So long story says I need them all, but probably most excited for the Harry Potter team pack. Can't wait to check out the Adventure World. Infinity Museum, James Holley says, because I have Toys Life to addiction problems and no one else can help, I need to hire the Sergeant Bosco B.A. Baracus Fun Pack. Warlock, as well as the Adventure Time packs for sure. One of my favorite shows, so can't wait to see the LEGO version of that. Again, I don't know much about the show, but all the content looks beautiful. Like, they did a really good job with it.
I still can't believe you haven't put it on, at least like in the background one of these days.
Nope.
Nope.
Too busy finishing Gilmore Girls. How
far are you?
So here's a funny story. Spoiler alert for this.
Okay.
If anybody cares about spoilers for Gilmore Girls.
People are starting to watch it for the first time.
So I finished season 5. I'm 6 episodes into season 6 now, right?
Is 6 the final episode, the final season?
No, 7th is the one that you warned me about.
Okay.
So
sorry, I only asked that because Valerie just got done marathoning the entire series of Friends.
Oh, yeah.
That's a long series, and like when it comes to like series, watch seasons and everything like that, like all the numbers are just jumbled in my head at this point.
Sure. But so a funny thing that happened was I was watching it, and I don't even know what episode I was on, but I was on the second to last episode of season 5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Finishing about halfway through, and I think I knew I had a little bit left, and then anyways, I fell asleep with like 10 minutes ago on that episode.
Sure. And
Netflix, automatically played to the next episode, slept through 40 minutes of that, literally woke up. Again, this is a spoiler alert.
Okay.
Woke up to Lorelai going, "Will you marry me?" I'm like, wait, what the fudge? I woke up literally at the spoiler alert. Like the big, I'm like, God dang it! Just ruined the last episode and a half. Like, I could have woke up at any other time. Like, I literally woke up, and it's one of those things, I don't know if I was awake, and that's what jolted me to be awake, But it's so funny. Like, I was in my head, like, oh, fun. So I just ruined this last episode of this.
You missed so much in those, like, episode and a half.
Yeah, so then, like, I went back and watched it all, but I was like, are you kidding me? Like,
you spoiled it for yourself. That's awesome.
So, But yeah, so
Also, shout out to Kirk once again.
oh god, I love Kirk so much. um, Evan Parker says Ghostbusters. Have you seen that movie? Dad playing games says Ghostbusters story pack for sure. Gonna bust some ghost co-op style with the old and new Ghostbusters and my daughter. Sorry, there's a weird swallow again.
That's okay. I actually thought that was Skype that time.
Tommy's Mommy 14 says the Adventure Time team pack, just because I love that show. Ben Miller says the Adventure Time a level pack since Sonic isn't in Wave 6. AT is still really fun with the cell shading. Let's see. No, I'm not gonna bust on this one. Daryl E. Drance, I guess, maybe. So the Adventure Time. Tari Alex, 24 minutes ago, says the Adventure Time little pack. I can't wait to run around and explore the Candy Kingdom. M. Tazer says Harry Potter as I started reread thanks to the only Harry Potter man, I'm fumbling over tonight. Harry Potter as I have just started a reread thanks to the only Harry Potter podcast out there.
It's true. There's only
Jeff
one.
Grimes.
Yeah.
Jeff Grimes says,
I don't know if you knew that or not, Jason.
I don't think it's the only one. I think it might be the only one that's based on the books right now.
Look, I've said it for like the last 11 or 12 episodes, so I'm pretty sure it's true.
Okay. I just know MuggleNet still comes out with podcasts every week.
Look, there are no other Harry Potter podcasts, Jason.
Yeah. You're right. Mr. T, because I love the AT
I'm
movie.
going to spoil
Just
the rest
kidding.
of Gilmore Girls for you right now.
Shut your fat face. Just kidding. Really enjoyed the TV show when I was growing up. Victor Zelma Grizzly Knox says Harry Potter Tales from Godric's Hollow has rekindled interest in the series after rewatching. Can't wait to play the sets. DMU Girl says Adventure Time level partly because I just got into the show over the last few weeks while horribly ill. I didn't know you were sick, so hope you're feeling better, DMU Girl.
Also, shout out to DMU Girl. I saw her in the Kind of Funny Let's Play with Arthur Parsons and Greg Miller playing Lego Dimensions. I saw her name in the chat pop up. I'm like, it's DMU Girl. How awesome is that?
Look at her.
Yeah. I just thought it was really cool to see. It's nice to see people that we're familiar with in our community, like, elsewhere.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like, I know them.
Yeah. They're
Jeff
here
Carr
because
says,
of us.
Ghostbuster Story Pack because it's a whole new type of pack. Tara says the Adventure Time team pack because I'm excited to see the new world, and the BMO is adorable.
BMO.
BMO.
You say it as BMO.
BMO.
BRB.
Says I have to say, BA, it just threw me for a loop in the best way possible when Mr. T was confirmed. Sean Deli says all 6. How can I choose just one when every pack offers something unique? Keep up the great work, TT Games. And Sam Fingered says Adventure Time because my whole family watches it, hoping I can play the game with them. And finally, tweet of the week goes to Shopkins Inc. Says the best Lego Dimensions buddy pack of the next wave, and included a picture of fruit and veg. So here's the thing. I'm a big fruit guy, so I was hoping I was going to be on fruit side,
Sure. Mm-hmm.
and you're going to be the vegetable.
Yeah.
But also, I also like to veg out like no one's business.
Right.
So I think that also fits me.
Sure. Now, in this picture, are we saying, like, they're making a point that tomato is a fruit, right? Because there's a pumpkin, there's an ear of corn, and there's a tomato.
Right.
They're making a very strong statement that tomato is, in fact, a fruit.
That's very true.
I don't know if I agree with that platform there, Shopkins. I mean, technically, I know it's a fruit, but that doesn't mean I need to include it into the fruit family when I think about fruit.
Mm.
When people say fruit, do you ever think about tomatoes?
No.
Never.
There was something the other day. Man, I wish I could remember what it was. Something I was reading or watching there, like talking about fruits and vegetables, and they grouped something in that I was like, "That's not a fruit," you know. Like I forgot what it was. It was tomato and something else, but
Sure.
Also, let's talk about government school lunches real quick.
Oh boy. Okay.
Learned this week that at my local where my nephew goes, that the school, again based apparently off the government thing, classify the kids can pick a fruit or a dessert.
Okay.
They can pick one.
Sure. Okay.
What elementary school kid is going to pick a thing of fruit salad when he can get like a freaking slushy instead?
Right.
What the heck?
Also, how comfortable are you with Subways being in middle schools?
With Subways?
Yeah.
Is what it is, I guess.
It's just weird, right?
Just weird.
Did you have like a restaurant inside of your middle school?
Nope.
No. Get out of here with
We
that.
used to have a thing. We had these cookies. Okay.
Okay.
that
Grandma's
were
cookies?
no, I don't know who they came out of some tube.
Okay.
But they were like 6 inches wide, probably.
Okay.
Like massive cookies in high
Big
school.
cookie. Uh-huh.
And they were always warm. And they put them in this little plastic bag, and they like crumble, but like fall apart in your hand. They're the best. They're so good. They had to been.
Sure, they weren't grandma's cookies.
I have no. I never saw them. They just came in a plastic bag.
Oh, like not a package.
No, they're just in like a little they looked like that plastic you would use to pick up a donut.
Oh, okay.
When you go to the grocery store.
Okay.
School would bake them, put them in this thing. Anyways, but they're from some company, whatever food service my school used in high school.
Sure.
But they were warm. The best thing. Some days I would get just 3 of those, and that's all I would eat because they're so good.
Right.
Then
Because you don't have room for anything else after that.
Right. Oh,
That's not your fault. That's the cookie's fault.
yeah, exactly. And then the Obama administration came along, and Michelle Obama decided to take away my cookie and replace it with these 3 little 1.5-inch cookies that are rock solid.
Thanks, Obama.
Thanks, Obama. I didn't even get to say goodbye to him.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
So who has the best response this week? Also, I'd like to point out, not one person is most excited for the Mission Impossible level set.
Yeah, what's up with that? That is personally signed off by Tom Cruise.
Is this okay? I listened to another podcast. Yes, there are other podcasts out there in the world. And they were talking about how back in the day, and as far as they knew up until this point, Tom Cruise refused to ever allow his likeness to be used in a video game. So anytime there was a video game based on a movie that he did, the character would have to look completely different than what Tom Cruise looked like, because he refused to ever have his likeness in video games. Whether that was because of Scientology or just because of his own, personal beliefs for whatever.
Right.
But this is 100% Tom Cruise in Lego Dimensions, right?
100%.
They're not making bones about this is him.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He signed off. He personally had to sign off on it. So
right. I'm just saying this is kind of monumental for the game industry.
It is monumental.
But nobody picked it. So who are we going with this week?
I'm going with
Yeah.
Dad playing games. What was that noise for?
I'm trying to find that tweet.
Because he says Ghostbusters story pack for sure. Gonna bust some co-op style with the old and new Ghostbusters and with my daughter. And that was kind of like a Lego Dimensions in a tweet thing, because great thing about Lego Dimensions, you can bring, you can break the rules all the time, so you can do this awesome mashup, bring an old one in, can do co-op. All your old characters are going to work just the same as new ones. You're not really gaining or losing any ability, like with Disney Infinity, where your old characters are basically pointless, stuff like that. So it's kind of exciting with that, because again, that's what's exciting about it. I mean, it's exciting to get new packs, but the thing is also it's exciting because now you get to use your old characters in new ways, and new things. So I just really like that, because I feel like that was a Lego Dimensions response.
I like it. So G, at Dad Playing Games, please get a hold of us. Preferably on Twitter, but if you want to email, that's fine also. And give me some information, and I will get you your A-Team Fun Pack once it is released. Thank you for that, Jason.
You're welcome.
It's a lot of fun. Moving on to the Inquire This part of the podcast. This segment is brought to you by one of the most inquisitive people I know. Always fun to talk to. His Skylander knowledge is deep. And he's still, as far as I know, still playing through all the old Skylanders games. Of course, I'm talking about Evan Parker, the lone goldfish who you could watch play Skylanders and possibly other games over on his Twitch channel, twitch.tv/TheLoneGoldfish. He is the sponsor of this Inquire This segment. This is the segment where I reach out to the audience. They provide me with a trivia question based on the franchises that we talk about on this show. And they try to stump you, Jason, the expert, with said trivia question. Are you ready for this week's trivia question?
Yes.
This one was sent in from Jennifer Birch, who you can find on Twitter at Artistic Doodle. She wrote in and said, "Hey, Toys for Games. Saw your tweet calling for trivia questions, and I hope this technically counts as trivia." It does, because I'm reading it. She goes on to state... Actually, do you want to know what this is about first? You'll find out.
Doesn't really matter.
Before Disney Infinity, we are talking before 1.0,
Yep.
Was released, what pre-order incentive was offered during its promotion at San Diego Comic-Con 2013? And she included a bonus question, too, in case that one was too easy for you.
So what was the pre-order exclusive at San Diego Comic-Con?
So, at San Diego Comic-Con 2013, they offered a promotion that if you pre-ordered Disney Infinity 1.0, they gave you something. Right then and there, on the spot. And she's not talking about swag bags. She says there were also swag bags, but those were given away to attendees, or maybe special people and D23 members. So not swag bags, stuff like that.
Don't think they were giving away the figures yet. I know for sure they weren't giving the figures away yet. I will say, I actually don't know this question. It's actually a good question. I will say a t-shirt.
Okay. Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Now, I have not confirmed this because I don't know who to confirm this with. So I'm taking her word for it. She says the answer is you instantly received the Villains 3-pack set right then and there.
Really?
Right then and there. Pre-order the game, walk out with the Villains 3-pack.
I'll have to check that. That's
How about that? That sounds pretty cool.
That does sound pretty cool.
That's a great way to get pre-orders in.
2013?
Yep.
Okay. Let's see here. Nerdreactor.com.
Sounds like a legit site.
Yeah. They say receive an exclusive character figure, and there's no pictures on that. Anyways, you can keep talking. I'll do some more.
Jennifer, we're not saying you're wrong. Jason is just baffled and amazed by the answer to this.
I just didn't, like I said, I didn't think they gave away any figures because I thought that Oh, no, I guess San Diego Comic... Well, I can't remember if San Diego Comic was before or after D23 that year. I think it was before. I don't know.
Anyway, let's throw out the bonus question just for, for kicks here. She says she's not 100% sure if she has all the locations listed in the answer. Besides getting the Villains 3-pack at San Diego Comic-Con with pre-ordering, what other locations gave away figures before the game's launch? And the hint was they were events.
So what, for Disney Infinity 1.0, what other places did they do?
That gave away figures.
For Disney Infinity 1.0?
Yes.
D23 they gave away Sorcerer's Mickey.
Okay. She didn't list what figures they were, so I can't fact check that, but yes. And they weren't necessarily for pre-orders, they were just giving away figures.
Sure. E3, I think they were giving them away.
Those are the two.
There you go. So E3, I think each year they did like a little pop-up thing.
Definitely. So Jennifer, thank you for writing that in. That was a lot of fun. Good time to reminisce about good old Disney Infinity. Good time indeed.
It's always a good time to reminisce.
Moving on to the final portion of this episode, Jason. It's the email segment. The world-renowned email segment. Where you people could write in podcast@toysforgames.com and send us some emails so we could read them here on the show, live for you, for your listening enjoyment. First one's going to be a little bit long, so I'm bracing you now, but it's crammed full of information. Okay?
Yes.
This email was so good, I immediately texted Matt, and I said, Matt, be ready for tonight's episode, because there are so many interesting little tidbits about Skylanders. It's going to blow your mind. Not something he's reported on, not something that you've reported on, not something I've seen anywhere else. So this is some quality information, okay?
Excellent.
First-hand information as well. This email is from Green Armadillo over in the UK, who tweeted us this morning wearing a Toys for Games hoodie. Big shout out to Green Armadillo.
Looking mighty fine, that hoodie.
Looking dapper. Says, Dear Josh and Jason, I'm just back from the Eurogamer Expo, EGX, in the UK, which had a very good showing for Toys to Life this year. LEGO Dimensions had all Wave 7 plus, and I think he meant 6, right? Probably. Yes. Plus the Gremlins and several types of content available. I feel bad for such a brief mention of a fun demo, but there were no breaking news. The developers of Beasts of Balance were there doing demos and pre-orders, which should ship in time for the holidays, as they've said before. I didn't get to talk to Alex Fleetwood, who you interviewed on the show, but the other guys were aware of the interview about the plush jellyfish. The Skylanders Imaginators, and yes, he wrote it like that, so I had to read it like that, demo was being ran by some random Sony PlayStation staff who didn't seem to care if I spent my turn clicking through all the menus trying to learn how things unlock instead of actually playing the Crash Bandicoot level. Things that I didn't know before are as follows. 1. On this build, you only need one sensei for each battle class to unlock special attack skills. Game Informer reported seeing 2 locked special attacks at Gamescom, but the second locked attack today said it's unlocked by beating a Doomlander of that battle class. I assume as a boss in story mode. I.e., if you don't own a matching sensei, you should still be able to pick 3 of the 4 options for that attack slot, triangle button on the PS4. Number 2. The overwhelming majority of creation pieces come from random Imaginite chests. Where you used to see the treasure chest in previous games, you now get a piece of Imaginite. When you get a star on a level, you get Imaginite. I did not see references to specific types of physical chests, so it is possible the rarities just mean you are guaranteed higher quality items when you scan in the chest. There is no information on what happens if you draw a duplicate. I assume they might give you gold since there isn't really anything else they could offer. Number 3, they apparently fixed the name of the yellow top rarity tier, which is now Ultimate, to match Battlecast rather than Supreme as it was at E3.
Hallelujah!
Thank you, Skylanders, for listening to the Toys for Games podcast. It's about time you guys actually take one of our suggestions. 4. There are matching item sets where you get most of the pieces randomly, and then the final piece, often a hat or headpiece, is granted automatically. That's cool. 5. There are pieces for in-game achievements, including a bunch for beating the game on Nightmare. Have fun with that, folks. Number 6. Each sensei and each creation crystal have some exclusive creation pieces that arrive in a gift Imaginite chest. For example, the water crystal came with a pirate outfit set. You could see the names of the pieces you don't own and how they are unlocked, but it doesn't taunt your children by showing them how their Imagineer will look by wearing an item that you don't own. Okay, I like it. Number 7, there are references to shrines for battle classes needed to unlock your Sky Chi super move, and what sounded like gated areas for specific element sensei. Number 8, the Chaos Sensei appears about as powerful as any other sensei and is not going to completely demolish everything the way that the Chaos Trap does in Trap Team. He attacks by creating a wide range of weapons, and his Sky Chi move turns him into a giant floating head with laser eyes. That particular figure at the demo station had not purchased most of its upgrades. I think there might have been sharks somewhere, but I didn't get to use or see any. He says, overall, I feel a bit better about Imaginators having seen it in action. It appears will be a lot of replay value unlocking creation options, even if you don't go on to buy a full range of toys. Best from the UK, Green Armadillo.
Sweet.
What do you think of all that?
That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, the one thing about Imaginators that seems different, like even before, like very few of my characters that I ever tried to fully like upgrade or stuff like that.
Mhm.
But this one definitely seems that has like the most logical or the most rewarding way of upgrading stuff.
Yep.
That is worth playing with other characters. In a way that doesn't seem like too locked in per se. Like, do you have to feel like you have to play the other one? So I'm excited about that aspect of it. Glad they changed the thing. That it really matters anymore since Battlecast did.
But it makes you feel better internally.
It does make you feel better.
Yeah.
So yeah, it seems really interesting. I'm glad I got to see all that, and it's funny that again, I mean, that's a good thing. If you get with the PlayStation people, they could care less.
Yep. They don't care. They have nothing to hide. They're getting a paycheck either way.
Right.
Next email is from DMU Girl with some rapid fire questions for you, Jason. First topic, Lego Dimensions. What pack are you going to open first from Wave 6?
Harry Potter.
I would have guessed the story pack.
I mean, because that's the one I'm going to play with first.
Right.
But I just wanted to bust out the choo-choo train.
Sure. How many waves do you think we will get this year now that they have 0.5 waves?
Total waves in general, I think we're going to get at least one other 0.5. And I think we're going to get one other wave. So in addition to the 0.5 we already know, I think we're still going to get we're still going to get wave 8, we're still going to get wave 9. Then we're going to get another 0.5 in there and another full number.
Okay. So that would be 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, so 7 waves total, essentially.
Yeah, so we're going to get like wave 6, wave 7, 7.5, 8, 8.5, 9, and then like 10.
Cool. I like it. Now that we are about to get new content, have you got all of your 1 gold bricks? Disclaimer, no. I haven't even got close.
Not even close.
Now's a good time to go do it, though.
It's like, I'm a weird person, like I enjoy replayability, but like I just don't like going back and then just doing the treasure hunt afterwards. Sure. I don't know why.
The grind.
Yeah.
She has some amiibo questions for you.
Ooh.
So the Bayonetta 2 amiibo platinum games that they keep talking about is the Smash one, correct?
Correct.
Yes, it's correct. Where do you think the Cloud amiibo is?
I don't know if it's just stuck in licensing or something or other. Maybe they want to launch it sometime when Final Fantasy launches and they're, that's getting all moved around.
That keeps getting delayed. The amiibo gets delayed for no reason whatsoever. Do you think we will ever get Monster Hunter Stories game and amiibo in the West?
No.
Do you think we've had both a game and console launch date leak due to the Breath of the Wild amiibo?
Yes.
We totally forgot to talk about that.
Yes, we did. I really hope so, because that'd be the funniest thing in the world.
Yeah. Good on them. Good job, amiibo. You good for something. Also, people on Twitter are saying that we sound like very down and like unexcited about amiibo these days. We're not.
Yep.
I think we talk about amiibo the same way we have since day one.
Yeah.
Like it's not as exciting as it used to be because there isn't the sense of urgency to buy them, but we still love them. We still buy them all. We still collect them. We just wish we could do something with them. That's all.
Amiibo is exciting the day you buy them and the day you get home, and then it's back to who cares.
Yep.
So
what's next?
Yep.
Next email is from Tashmon. He wrote in a few days ago, so it's a little bit dated. You'll see why. But he says, "Hello, Josh and Jason. Once again, it's almost a month until the release of Skylanders Imaginators, and I am pumped. So pumped, in fact, that it pains me how little we know about this game and its colorful cast of Sensei Skylanders this late into the news cycle. Because Activision's marketing department is run by a bunch of chimpanzees, I've taken the liberty of predicting their entire marketing strategy from today onward. Because I'm sending this in advance, there are some dates I may or may not get correct by the time you read this. So without further ado, here's my prediction on how they're going to handle the marketing for Skylanders Imaginators final month before release. September 19th, new art contest opens. That is, did not happen. that I
September
know about.
19th?
Yeah.
Yeah, it did.
A new art contest opened?
Yeah.
A new one?
And a new contest or something when you get like a private screening, some weird movie.
Oh, okay. I'm wrong. September 20th. Aurora and Mysticat gameplay. That did not happen. Right?
I forget which ones. I don't think we've seen those yet.
I don't think so either. September 26th, coming up here. Latest, the Skylanders website can update, plus Toys for Bob visit articles video. Footage of the hub and new characters. PvP arena announcements? We shall see.
We shall see.
September 29th and 30th, Skylanders Imaginators commercials uploaded to YouTube. How are they not on YouTube already? That's
the
crazy.
commercial. Like I think they're just saying like the launch commercials.
Okay, that makes sense.
The things they officially call launch.
Sure. October 1st, Skylanders Academy trailer. October 10th, unboxing review embargo. He says, sorry for the long email, but I spent too much time thinking about this for me not to share it. Thanks for reading. P.S. Is it just me, or are the Supercharger commercials super lazy?
They are super lazy. Yeah, I mean, that's all logical in there.
Sure.
I'd be curious if they'll play nice or not on September 27th if they do anything that day. Wouldn't mind a good old tongue-in-cheek, lighthearted attack, but we'll see.
Yeah. It'd be nice to maybe have Thrillipede somewhere in there. I don't know. Just saying. Final email of the night. This is, of course, from Atari Alex.
136 days, by the way.
Good to know.
I'm still waiting for all my apologies from everybody who attacked me for the article. Anytime people want to send them in.
Or you could just send them in to podcast@toysforgames.com and I will vet them and send them directly to Jason, I promise. Atari Alex on Twitter, he wrote in and said, Dear Josh and Jason, as a follow-up to my question from last week, thank you for catching on to my running follow-up question joke. I'll stop now. Lightseekers seems to be the hot new thing in the Toys to Life market, and it seems quite intriguing. As the latest to enter into the battlefield, they have the disadvantage of coming in with no brand recognition, which you both stated in the past that a new IP with unknown characters would be almost impossible to succeed, but with the advantage of being able to learn from the mistakes of other franchises. In your expert opinions, how can Lightseekers avoid pissing off fans like Skylanders? Side note, shout out to the Lone Goldfish for publicly calling out Skylanders for the Battle Class mishap, and to Activision support for their totally boneheaded responses. Wow, I forget how that question started. How could they avoid pissing off fans like Skylanders? Communicate better than Disney Infinity and have useful functionality unlike Amiibo, get away with figure exclusive backlash unlike LEGO Dimensions, and to deliver their promises unlike Infinite Arms. Wow.
So what was
Gauntlet thrown.
So what was the first one? Just how do you not make fans mad like Skylanders does?
Yeah, how do they... So basically he's saying in order to succeed, they have to not piss off fans like Skylanders.
Sure.
They have to communicate better than Disney Infinity. They have to have useful functionality unlike Amiibo. They have to be able to get away with figure exclusive backlash unlike LEGO Dimensions. And they have to deliver on the promises unlike Infinite Arms. How do they do that all?
Communication, they're already on top of, and I think they're going to be the most communicative game, even more so than Disney Infinity.
Even more so than LEGO Dimensions at this point.
Yeah. That's their number one thing they have going for them right now, which is what they need to do.
Which helps because they're small still. You know, we don't know on
a
grand scale how much they'll be able to do that, but now it's looking great.
Yeah. As far as exclusivity goes, we don't know what retailers are, buying this. We don't know if you're going to be able to buy it online or in store. If Tommy's involved, you would assume it's going to be in stores because they have existing relationships with that.
Right.
I will guarantee you right now there's going to be store exclusives though.
Sure.
At least one.
I don't think store exclusives are a big deal when it's characters or figures or franchises that like don't have appeal. Like LEGO Dimensions ran into that trouble because it was Green Arrow and Supergirl. People that are fans of those, despite not being fans of everything else in Lego Dimensions. Like specific fans, already
Sure.
established fans of those characters, couldn't
Sure.
get those characters.
Yeah, I was saying because store exclusives will help greatly this game as far as from a marketing standpoint.
Make them feel special.
Yeah, stores will then they want to advertise that they have an exclusive.
Yeah.
So, I hope they do get store exclusives because it helps them out a lot.
I mean, look how much Toys R Us benefited from having the J exclusive in Lego Dimensions.
Sure. they but yeah, it's functionality then with Amiibo.
They're already done.
They're already done.
Yeah.
But like even with the figures, and they're going to do the cards, they're going to do the comics, they're going to do the videos, they're going to do a bunch of stuff. So, I mean, they're on a solid, good course. So this is like, again, this is one of those things where people keep saying Toys Life is dead and there's nothing else to do. It's the you can tell already there's a lot of places you can innovate with this game. There's still a lot more to do in the genre.
Yep. And how are they going to deliver on their promises, unlike Infinite Arms?
They're here still. So.
Yeah, they didn't disappear after articles were written about them initially, and then they went into hiding like Infinite Arms. And they, they just need to deliver on what they're promising, basically. So, yes, we both said that a new franchise that doesn't have a recognizable IP is probably going to get smashed. But that was also thinking along the lines of they're going to do the same thing that all of the other franchises are doing. Lightseekers, they're not doing the same thing as everybody else. They're going above and beyond that. They're making multimedia franchise with all these different aspects all tying into one. None of them are like required. So, what we had said before applied to somebody coming in and doing the same formula as the others. They're not doing the same formula. They've changed what the formula is. So, it's exciting. I hope that what they're promising turns out to be what they deliver, because it will be super disappointing if, they don't do that. But we have to sit back and wait and see. Hope for the best. So,
yeah, I mean it's one of those things that's like, okay, because when it first came out, like the Family Gamer video and everything, I'm like, okay, this looks interesting, but it's probably gonna be a, splash in the pan kind of thing.
Yep.
And then like a couple days later, something else came out. A couple days later, they can push stuff, and then like the video's coming out. I'm like, okay, this is actually like a legitimate game, not something that like, again for Infinite Arms that they're showing in their hotel room.
Right.
Like this is a in studio legitimate things done with posters and backdrop and huge concept art pieces in their office. Like it's legit.
They are serious about it. From the moment we saw it, it felt like they were serious about it.
Yep.
Not just trying to swoop in on the genre, but they're dead serious about making this the next big thing. So, ambition goes a long way. But that's the show for tonight. Thank you all for writing in. As always, Jason, thanks for hanging out for a couple hours.
Yeah, man.
Busy weekend plans?
Yeah, they just tomorrow night going to the high school football game.
Mm-hmm.
Excited for that. Saturday, surprising her by making breakfast. So I'm excited for that. Making some pumpkin spice pancakes.
Ooh.
Also, I think I've said it publicly in the podcast before, I don't know or not. She has several different allergies. And one of the main one right now is she's lactose intolerant.
Okay.
And so I was sitting there, I was trying to figure out stuff to do. I was like, oh, I can make cheesy eggs. So I love cheesy eggs. It'd be fun to go with the pancakes. And I'm like, shoot, I can't cheese, because I was milking it.
Sure.
I'm like, oh, idiot, can't even use butter. I'm like, idiot, can't even put milk in it, I'm like, screw it, we're just making straight eggs with salt and pepper. So fun with that. Then hoping to go take her out, check out foot golf.
Okay.
We're supposed to meet up with some of my friends to go, but they got tied up, so I think I'm just gonna her and I are gonna go.
Sure.
But excited for that. Introduce her to the wonderful world of foot golf. One of my favorite things to do. Then just watch the Penn State game. And she's got a bunch of work she has to get done. And then Sunday have a family reunion that we're going to, and then taking her back up to school.
Nice.
So should be a fun-filled weekend. I think legit, she's enjoying the interaction people have with her on Twitter.
Mm-hmm. Wait, is she on Twitter?
No, that's what I'm saying. Even though she's not on Twitter,
Whew.
like people talk about it.
You just scared me because I was like, how have I missed out on this?
So that's my goal. I think I might make her get on Twitter this weekend.
Okay.
So legit, probably 99% of it would just be to interact with our community.
Perfect.
So
that's all she needs.
Yeah. So look for that. So might put that up, make her put one up this weekend.
Nice.
So be kind to her.
So Val and the kids, they're going to Val's little sister is getting married in a couple weeks, sure. And they're having like a wedding shower and whatnot and planning, and the wedding kind of came pretty quickly. It was going to be like 2 years out, and it turned out that it's like a couple weeks out. They moved it up pretty quickly, and so Val and the kids are going to be doing the whole wedding shower thing, and I was like, I'm going to the wedding. I'm going to be making a wedding cake, in a couple of weeks. Like, that's my involvement in the wedding, Have fun at the wedding shower. Do your thing. I'm going to have a Saturday. I'm going to have a Josh Saturday, right?
Sure.
Boise State, my college team of choice, is going to be playing Oregon State in Oregon State, which is only a couple-hour drive from here. I'm thinking about going down and checking out a college football game. First time in about 14 years that I've been to a college game. I'm a little nervous.
That'd be fun, though.
I'm a little excited. It's a 12:30 game. I like that kickoff time.
Sure.
Going into the season, it was TBD. So they didn't really have a time up until like just a few days ago. They decided it was going to be a 12:30 kickoff. So I was hoping for like a night game because night games sound like they would be really fun to go to. But yeah, so I might be going to see Boise State play Oregon State.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah, and I don't really have anybody that's like that loves college football around
sure.
me that I know. And the ones that do not care about Oregon State or Boise State. So probably just going to go alone. Why not? Interact with the college kids and see what the college kids are up to these days. Sounds dangerous.
Those crazy kids these days.
Oh boy.
Dude, it is a weird. I mean, I guess you're obviously a couple years older than me too. But like when I go up to visit Amy, it's still like it just seems weird. Like I still don't feel like I'm older than people. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm even walking around, her dorm room or just walking around the constant, like, I don't feel like I'm older than all of them,
Sure.
Until
like, you think about they just left high school last year.
Yeah. And I'm like, huh. It's like an old guy, like, just chilling here on camp. It was just a weird feeling.
Yeah. That picture of you at the game last weekend, you definitely look like the oldest person in the stadium.
Which one? The one when I was with Amy?
Yeah.
Just me and her.
There were some people in the background.
Yeah.
Just saying. You're an old man. So that's our shenanigans. Next week, LEGO Dimensions Wave 6 launches. We're probably going to be recording, look at us, planning ahead, next Tuesday, as it stands now. I'm trying to figure out a good day or time to do, I want to do like a big stream of the new LEGO Dimensions content. So that might be next week, sometime in the evening, maybe like Wednesday night or something. Not sure. But play through the level packs and check out the story pack and that kind of stuff. So I want to have some fun with the launch of it. So be on the lookout for that, folks. Jason, where could people follow you at and interact with you and such?
You can always follow me personally on Twitter, twitter.com/JasonInquires. Also same handle for Instagram and Facebook. You can always head to always head to the Toys Life Centric accounts as well of Brick Inquirer, Skylanders Inquirer, and most recently Lightseekers Inquirer. That is not up yet, but the Twitter account is live. So you can head to Lightseekers Inc. Not Sinkers, Seekers Inc. You can follow them there. Enjoying. Really glad to have a lot of people already following on there, getting ready for all the fun that will be happening eventually.
Absolutely. Look forward to that. For me personally, you could find me on Twitter at The Noise with a Y. You can follow the show, as you should already be doing, at Toys for Games. You could email us, podcast@toysforgames.com. Also, check out the website, toysforgames.com, where everything going on is posted over there. facebookgroup.com or facebook.com/groups/toys for games. Go over there, send Ken some well wishes, send Gabe Perez and Crystal some congratulations for their wedding. All kinds of stuff going on in that group. It's a lot of fun. I always like dropping in and seeing what you guys are talking about. I enjoy it. And if you'd like to support us and what we do every week, you could do so over at patreon.com/toys4games. With that being said, Jason, I hope you enjoy your weekend, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
Hope everybody out there listening has a great weekend as well. Hope you are getting excited for the launch of Lego Dimensions figures. I know we are.
Yeah, super pumped.
Super pumped indeed. Till next time.
Hold on.
What?
Hold on. Let me see.
Tell me you got breaking news within seconds of this podcast ending.
No. Oh, this is lame.
Well, what was it? You stopped the whole podcast.
Oh, no. Amazon Prime tomorrow, Friday.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting discounted from $99 down to $68.
Hey, there you go.
I couldn't remember what the prices was. I thought it was like 70 something. I'm like, who cares about a couple bucks?
Sure.
But that's not a bad price point. So,
yeah.
If you're listening to this on Friday, there's a chance on that. If you're not listening to this, or if you're missing this is why you should always follow me on Twitter. Get all your deals news.
So true. So true indeed. With that being said, until next time, happy hunting, collectors.